So this is so hard to say, but I give it my best shot. But then when you have these awakening experiences and these shifts, the body does begin to align more with that shift. But this is an endless expansion that can happen as the human evolves. And so as you have that shift, and when you're waking up and reconditioning yourself on the human level, you begin to see that on the ultimate level, everything is your choice. Because who you are is consciousness, and consciousness is creating everything. So what you could say is that you, on the ultimate level, are the creator. So it's best to line that reality up more and more with the person. So it's seeing that the person has no free will, but it's also seeing that the way that life creates is that whatever energy it's creating, that's the world that's going to be seen. So if consciousness creates a person that believes anything's possible, then this is going to be more in line with its vibration as consciousness. If consciousness creates a person that is always believing that it's a shithead and it's bad and that it's wrong, that is less in line with who you are. And there's going to be more friction and more discomfort. Just like if you're trying to drag a dog or drag yourself through a thorn bush. That's okay, but it's less in vibration with your true way of being. So there is this lining up more with who you are, which is kind of a mixture between the conditioned being and your true self. This is really hard to put into words. So your true being is always an expansion. Your true being is always about expanding, because that is the nature of consciousness. It's non-limitation. Your essence is limitless, without limit, even without the idea of limit. And you can see that the world is reflecting that, because the world is always expanding. It's always getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So when the human lines up with that reality, the human is going to be more balanced, because it's in line with its true essence. This way of expansion, this place of expansion. Now, when you look at wants and not wanting, not wants as in, this isn't including seeking, when you believe that your pleasure is going to bring you freedom. This is just coming back to natural wants. Your wants feel expansive, and your not wanting feels contracting. So wanting in the positive goes more in line with your true essence as consciousness, and not wanting goes more against your true essence as consciousness. So on the human level, I feel one of the better ways to live is to be in a place of wanting rather than not wanting. And I think this makes you a more happy and balanced human. A lot of people on the human level live opposite to themselves, and they're always in, I don't want that, and they're always fighting life. But this is all reconditioning in the human level, and I don't always do it. I'm sometimes in not want. No, I don't want. And I try to look at that and recondition it. But this isn't seeking wants, because it gets very confused, because when you're learning that about non-duality, you're often learning that it's not in the cake, it's not in the money. And so you're kind of in a way being anti-wants. But what that's trying to teach you is that your freedom isn't in it, that wanting is actually really impersonal, and it doesn't really matter what you freaking get. Like at the moment, I told you last week, I'm in such a tiny apartment, which is really beautiful, it's by the beach, but I'm such a tiny apartment it's not my home, for for this period that we're going through. Like you all know, we are. I just can't talk about it on YouTube because otherwise my videos get blocked. So for this period, and in the past, I had the idea that a bigger house would be better for me, but it doesn't change your sense of being. It doesn't change your freedom. The house might be more pleasurable, but pleasure is just something that comes and goes. It doesn't actually affect your day that much. It doesn't really matter. And this is the way, like, nothing really matters. And this is the way you have to be in order to get into your natural wants, because if you're really attached to getting things, then you can't really tune into what it is you want in the moment, because you're constantly checking to make sure you get it, or you're trying too hard to get it. Whereas actually your natural flow is just flow, and it doesn't really matter. Like, you give out your want, so you want someone to do the cleaning up for you, you give that out, and then you just let it be there, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't really matter. But wanting is expansive, so to me that's more in line with consciousness, which is what you are, expansiveness. And so living a more balanced life, you will be more in tune with the wanting, and this is an expansive and positive energy. And reconditioning yourself to that, to something like law of attraction, I think is positive on the human level, and I think this makes more human, more balance in humanity. But it's not a personal thing, because who is this person that's doing it? It's just a reconditioning that happens that's completely impersonal through recognition of yourself and through evolving on the human level. But that's not something that you do.